Having a daily routine is a key aspect of any behaviour change program. Building a solid strategy for each of the 7 days in a week, planning for what you're going to do and when you're going to do it, is a primary structural requirement for success in the early stages of change. Putting your schedule into a physical format provides a level of accountability to the process that can help to improve our self-integrity along the way. This doesn't have to look a particular way though. In fact, setting up your day is a very unique and personal thing, so it's important to make it your own. Take the time to think it through, and whether you choose to do this using pen and paper or printing it out, if you're doing it on a phone or on a tablet, it really doesn't matter, as long as it's something that you know you're going to stick to using every single day. There are a number of different reasons why it's important to put structure and schedule in place. The primary purpose is to develop our ability to distract and avoid from an overwhelming and distressing emotional experience. When we learn that the behaviour we're trying to change, for example my alcohol use, isn't the real problem, it's the solution to the problem, then we figure out that the real issue is our inability to cope with our emotions. It's natural for us to jump in feet first at the deep end, trying to sit with our emotional experiences so we can get this problem fixed as fast as we can and get back to living our lives. The problem with this approach is that we don't have the skills to sit with our emotions yet, so it spirals us into our old behaviours faster than we can build awareness for what's actually going on, because it's the only way we currently know how to cope. This is why our ability to distract our mind and avoid certain circumstances is a necessity when we first start out. Yes, we want to develop the ability to sit with our emotional experiences, and that will definitely come with time, as well as start delving into our ability to practice the many different skills of dialectical behaviour therapy. As for right now, keeping busy and knowing what we're doing moment to moment is a great way to get through the early days. At the start of my own journey, I felt like I was using distract and avoid all the time. It was my primary weapon of choice. I had a routine and structure that kept me constantly busy. But not with just one constant thing though. I had everything documented in my life, from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. I included meal times, exercise plans, time when I was working, time when I was doing my recovery homework, and even times when I was doing absolutely nothing at all, just having a bit of a me moment. If you're anything like I used to be, and maybe one of the people that I met when I was working in residential treatment and still come across from time to time today, then you may be saying something along the lines of, I can't do routine, I'm way too spontaneous. I strongly suggest taking a look at the rigidity of this statement, as when we tell ourselves that we can't do something, it shuts down the probability of it ever actually happening. This removes the possibility of change and may limit the progress that we make towards achieving our ultimate goals. Also, it can be really important to develop an understanding for the difference between spontaneous and impulsive behaviours, as the two often get confused. One holds our integrity intact and keeps us in line with living the life we want to live, and the other does not. Can you tell which one is which? Occasionally, I also come across some people who tell me their lives are too unpredictable and erratic to add any type of routine or structure. Normally this is because they never know how many hours they might be working from one day to the next, or whether they're actually working the next day period. While this is definitely challenging to work around, it's also not impossible. All we need to do is have two different schedules for us to go by. One that covers what we typically do on a work day, and one that covers what we'd like to do on a non-work day. The only other obstacle that sometimes gets in our way is our own personality, those behavioural modes that we refer to as our emotional child parts. Whether the narrative that they're spinning in our system is one of entitlement, undiscipline, or impulsivity, the root cause of it is usually based in fear. When we hold ourselves to an unrelenting standard around what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it, failure is sometimes just too much to handle. So a really big case of the fuck it's kicks in, and avoidance is the only option. When it comes to what we put in our structure, there are several necessities that we need to include. The first of which is a solid morning routine. Whether your morning is actually in the morning or not, it's really irrelevant. It's just important to wake up at the same time each day and practice setting your day up for success. Inside of your schedule, it's also important to create time for using some of the recovery tools available to you through DBT and schema therapy, as it's essential to make time for these not only when you're struggling, but also when you're peaceful and calm. This will allow you to create a new habit that will automatically kick in when you need it to. One of the other key components involved in building your structured lifestyle is practicing a good night routine. The importance of sleep cannot be overstated, and setting yourself up for success in this area is a massive part of the structure that you're creating. All of the things we need to know about implementing a structured lifestyle are available in the DBT skill that's called Accepts. If you choose to continue this work, I highly recommend developing your knowledge of and ability to use this skill to your advantage, as it will only support you in setting yourself up for success. As always guys, if you like the content of this video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment and smash that like button. Turn on those notifications for all the latest from the Liberation Place. I hope this video gave you some insight for what it takes to build a structured lifestyle. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, be safe and be well.